Hello, everybody. Brian David Marshall here with Eric Froehlich. Eric, I'm really excited to have you here. Something very rare happened last round. You lost a match of Fate Reforged draft. We haven't seen you do much of this over the last 2 weekends.
Needle.
It's not the needle. It's not the needle, because the thing is, you just have been winning consistently at this, and I really want to get some insight into what you're trying to do when you sit down and open that first pack of Fate Reforged and are heading into the cons packs. Like, what's your goal in general in this draft format?
My goal in general in this draft format is just take the rare without looking. 9 times out of 10, it's right. Unfortunately, it didn't work this time. But yeah, the general strategy is the rares are obscene. And yeah, you're hoping to get one of the really good rares. There's a handful of uncommons that are fantastic. The commons are not so hot. And yeah, that's the general strategy. But with every draft format I've played, we've done this talk many times over the last 20 years, and I'm going to stay open. I'd never come in forcing an archetype in my life. I can't imagine I ever will. And yeah, that's the way I approach Limited in general.
Okay, so we watched you draft. We had the camera on you, so we've seen all your picks. I'd like to talk you through those picks and just like get an understanding of what happened in each pack. So this is your first pack, pack one, and we know you took Valorous Stance here. Why Valorous Stance over, something like Orc Sure Shot, which can be so board dominating, or Reach Your Shadows, or Sandstep Outcast?
Valorous Stance, I think, is the best card in the pack. It's very flexible. It's 2-mana removal that can really give you a huge tempo advantage because it's going to trade up. And that's why I like it. I mean, it has a lot of versatility. It can go in any white deck. Aggro control, it's very good. I think it's close between that and the Sure Shot. I have a preference towards white if I can be it. I think the Stance is a slightly better card. Sure Shot would be number 2 on my list. Flamewash Rider's all right. I think it's highly overvalued by people who haven't necessarily played the format a lot because it's very cool. It does cool things.
Yeah, I definitely overvalue it. I've played a lot, but my goals might be a little different than your goals when I'm sitting down in a draft.
In reality, the Flamerush Rider is very close to the Goblin Heel Cutter, the dash creature that allows something to not block. They're both very good aggressive cards, but red is the weakest color. It is double red to dash, which is a cost, which means it's not generally a card you're going to splash, and a 5-mana 3/3 is not good. And so, yeah, no, it has good synergies. It can be a very good aggressive card, but it's not where I'm looking to start my draft off.
Is it safe to say that Valorous Stance is pretty close to Reach Your Shadows in terms of being a removal spell? Like, it's going to kill the same creatures you probably want to kill with this?
Yeah, I mean, that's without even factoring in the indestructible mode, which is a very real thing as well. It's far more powerful than Reach Your Shadows, but of course Reach Your Shadows is, probably the best common removal spell. Sandstep Outcast is a good card, but not close to the level.
Okay, so let's take a look. In pack 2, you do take a Reach Your Shadows. Is there anything else here that was pulling you in this direction? This doesn't look like a terribly compelling pack.
Yeah, this is the situation that we talked about, Fate Reforged, where, it's just the rares are a lot better than the non-rares. And of course, we see that the rare is missing. You have to hope that when they open a good rare, they can pass you one of those great uncommons. We're missing that here. The Word Scale Dragon is in the same color of the card I just took. I don't think it's a very good card. It's a 6-mana 4/4 with an ability that's sometimes relevant, but isn't very good. Reach of Shadows is a solid removal spell. Lotus Path to Jin is a decent creature, as is Frostwalker. I don't necessarily want to branch right into blue, because just going straight blue-white right off the bat is not necessarily leaving your options open too much. I think Reach of Shadows is a slightly better card, and so I'm just going to end up taking that.
Yeah, I know we've heard a lot of players talking about the fact that you can, just forcing the flexibility of taking the non-basic lands early. If there's not a real great card for you, take the non-basic land. Do you consider Tranquil Cove here at all?
No, I don't think the 2-mana lands are especially important. I'm not committed to white because I took a Valorous Stance. It's a good card.
Remain open, that's what he always says.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking lands once I'm firmly in at least 1 color, if not 2. If I'm firmly in black-white and there's no card I want, I might take a Tranquil Cove or, a land that's in one of my colors. Preferably a Mardu land or an Abzan land to stay a little bit more open for pack 2.
Let's take a look at pick 3 here, and we quickly see Wild Call. So now we're 3 picks in, we've taken 3 colors. Doesn't mean we're going to be 3 colors at all, but why Wild Call over anything else here?
Wild Call, I think, is a very good rare. I mean, it's very akin to Green Sun Zenith, which is, of course, banned in Modern, in that it's a 2-mana card and an 8-mana card.
Right.
And that's just a good, when you can have a 2-mana 2/2 that's also going to be a 7-mana 7/7, that's a good card.
Right, you don't have to pay X on the card. You can just pay green and manifest on turn 2. It's a 3/3 on turn 3. There's not a lot of stuff that goes toe-to-toe with that in this format.
It's very real. That's how I won round 1. My opponent went 2-drop into 3-drop, both 2/2s, and I just made a 3/3. Having green, the casting cost is real, so it's not an overpowered card. But, I mean, you could also just hit a creature. Like, you could hit something very good. Or, you know, we've seen all the dreams of hitting Master of the Pearls or something that you can flip up for even cheaper with Manifest. And I think that Wild Call is at the same level as the top uncommons, and, you know, getting it third, I'll take it.
Okay, so now we're looking at pick 4. This you looked a little disappointed as you're looking at this pack. You know, there's not really a spectacular card for you. There's not even a dual land here. There's not even a gain land. So, Karsi High Priest, is this a card you'll often play? Is this a card you're thinking about playing?
I'll play it if the situation calls for it. As you can see, once a land is gone in a pack, it generally means, you know, there's 3 picks gone. The land is gone. This pack just doesn't have playable cards in it, which is something that happens in Fate Reforged. There's nothing in this pack that I want to play in my deck more often than not. Maybe Cunning Strike. In the right deck, Will of the Naga, I have a green, a black, and a white card, so I can't really take the blue-red card, and this card just doesn't fit with any of the 3 cards I have.
Yeah, and Goblin Boomkeg, like it's a slow removal spell, not something you even consider playable?
Unplayable, yeah.
Okay, moving on. So pick 5, now we're looking, and you get a Whisper of the Wilds. I mean, this seems like a solid card.
Yeah, green's open. I chose, like, when you get Wild Call third, green's probably open. I mean, someone could have taken a Teamer Sabertooth. I can speak. But yeah, Whisper of the Wilds is, if not the best green common, it's certainly up there. You know, we didn't see anything really in any of the packs. So getting this card 5th, it's important because a lot of these green-black decks are going to be kind of slow. We saw Wild Call and Reach of Shadows are my picks. So way to accelerate, it's nice.
Not looking at something like Jeskai Barricade, speculating on a Swiftwater Cliffs or anything like that?
Speculating on a blue-red land when we have green, black, and white cards is not what I'm looking at. And Jeskai Barricade, I haven't seen a single white card, period. So at this point, white is not looking like it's something I'm going to play. Maybe I'll splash if I get a couple good Abzan cards to go with my Valor stance. But this puts me kind of firmly in green, and where I go from there, you know, we'll see.
Right, and it helps you pay for your Reach of Shadows, etc. Okay, so now it's pick 6. There's a Jungle Hollow in the pack. There's also an Einok Guide, another Ward Scale Dragon. Jungle Hollow, just very clear pick for you?
It's not very clear. I think Einok Guide's certainly a card. You know, it's a 2-mana 2/2. At this point, I'm looking pretty solidly in green. Despite only having 2 cards, they're still my 2 best cards, I feel like. And I'm probably going to want to play the Reach of Shadows if I can. Green-black seems like, you know, it's a color combination I like, and it appears to be relatively open. So I'd like to take a Jungle Hollow here and kind of cement myself to be able to take more powerful cards in common.
Okay. Let's take a look at your 7th pick. We're coming around the table. So there's another Jungle Hollow, but even more surprisingly to me, there's a Reach of Shadows here at 7th pick. Yeah. What is that telling you about how the table's going? I
mean, I feel like it showed me that I've chosen my colors correctly. I'm supposed to be in green-black. I would love to have the Jungle Hollow. And Reach of Shadows is not like spectacular. It's a 5-mana removal spell. I mean, it's good. You play them, but it's not like, wow, you know, we did it. Doomblade.
It kills most of the rares that you're worried about in this format.
No, it's a solid card to have in your deck. It's very far from a bomb. It's not like,
yes, I agree with you.
But yeah, it's a signal because, again, the Fate packs just aren't super deep. The commons just aren't very good. So getting one of the better commons this late shows me that I'm doing things right.
Okay, so let's take a look. This is the last pack that you haven't seen any cards out of, and you take an Ethereal Ambush here, and again, there's like a late white card. Arishan Warbeast, not something you're not thinking about 7-drops at all? Or?
Yeah, it's not even a very good 7-drop, and the Return to the Earth, even against decks where it's good, the card's not very good. It's very far away from Plummet, 4-mana versus 2-mana. So yeah, I think the Ambush is a pretty good card, and so if I end up more Sultai, there's a chance I'll play it. I'm not super deep in playables currently, and so yeah, I decided to pick that up.
Okay, so we get your opening pack back, and 9th pick Hunt the Week. Again, a solid removal spell. You end up coming out of the first pack with 3 removal spells. Let's just take a look at all the picks you had from pack 1 all at once here. This is all 15 cards, all 14 cards. Or not quite, but most of them.
Yeah. Oh, that's all 15.
Yeah. So what do you, how do you feel coming out of pack 1 as you're reviewing through this?
I wish I had another Whisperer. I wish my 4th pick was a card. I wish my first pick looked like a card I was going to play. I was very on the fence. It took to the last minute between Hunt the Weak and Jungle Hollow, just because mana is just very important and the cards and cons are more powerful. So sometimes I like to pick up mana earlier so that I have more chance to play things.
Let's move on. Let's take a look. Now, cons, we're a little more familiar here, so let's go. There's a Savage Knuckleblade in the pack. What are the cards you're thinking about really quickly? But you take Pine Walker.
Yeah, this is not a consideration. Pine Walker's a great uncommon.
Another 5-mana removal spell.
Another 5-mana removal spell. It's also a 3-drop, which we actually don't have any of. So a very good card, easy pick on that one.
All right, let's keep going. Take a look. So what do we have here? Mardu Skullhunter, 2-drop.
Hugely disappointing. I mean, it's an aggro 2-drop. It doesn't block well. My deck is certainly not looking like it's going to attack well. I was looking for basically any playable. I don't care if it's, an Abzan, Sultai, green, black, whatever, and there's just nothing in this pack.
You take a Smoke Teller here?
That's close.
Okay, going on. So this is pick 3, and you take Long Shot Squad. There's a couple of options here for you. There's Become Immense, there's Dragon Scale Boon.
Yeah, again, my deck is not shaping up to be aggressive at all, so the Boon and the Skull Hunter both seem average. I do like Long Shot Squad, although, again, extremely disappointing that this pack is so weak.
Okay, keep moving along here, and Polluted Delta, Long Shot Squad, Throttle. Now, we already know you have the two Reach of Shadow, so Throttle becomes a little less desirable. Would that be something maybe you would have taken here if you didn't have the Reach of Shadows?
It certainly would have been on the table if I didn't have 2 5-mana removal spells. Long Shot Squad fills out my curve a little bit better, and I certainly considered the Outpost and the Delta, but I didn't know what my third color was going to be, so I couldn't actually pick one.
Okay, so let's keep going on. And what are we taking here? Bitter Revelation. This has become all the green-black grindy decks.
Yeah.
This is one of the cards you really want, right?
Oh yeah, this is a very strong card, and we haven't passed a lot of aggressive. Like, our deck is very slow, but we haven't passed aggressive cards, so it's a nice pickup. Okay,
keep moving through. Let's just take a look really quick. Show us the cards. Pick 6, Jungle Hollow, pick 7. So River Wheel Aerialist, is this a card you're thinking about playing at all?
Yeah, I'm thinking if I end up in Sultai and I need a finisher, that this could potentially fill the role.
Okay, the last clean pack, you get another Mardu Skullhunter, and then pick 9, your pack comes back to you, and what are we taking here? So another Bitter Revelation. Are you going to play both of those?
That's my plan.
Okay, so let's take a look at the pack 2 picks. We see the Pine Walker, the Long Shot Squads, the 2 Bitter Revelations, and maybe a splash color in the River Wheel Aerials. Going into pack 3 now, tell us what you see here and what are you thinking about?
Another very disappointing pack. I mean, none of the good rares, nothing really in the uncommon slot we're interested in. It's kind of between Dismal Backwater, which I'm not looking to play blue right now, a Morph in Bondkin, which is fine, not great, and Scavenger, because we have 2 Revelations, is a good card, but a disappointing.
Not looking to play blue right now, but that's going to change soon. Let's take a look at pick 2, and you get past a Sagu Mauler.
Yeah, you like that card?
You feeling a little like justice here?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I mean, it would have been nice to open one, then get it. No,
right.
No. Yeah,
and you get the Sagu Mauler and the Opulent Palace. That's not going to come back.
No,
and an
not.
Abomination. Another Riverwheel area. So let's keep moving quickly through these last few packs. And then you get another Pine Walker.
Yeah, fantastic.
So your 5 unmorphs are terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
Let's keep going through so we can get you onto your next round. Pick 4. What are you looking at here? An Archer's Parapet, just a 2-drop?
Yeah, just to hold down the fort a little bit. Good in control matchups. I already have 2 Long Shot Squads.
Yeah.
This was a tough pick.
So this is really tough. You've got the Dismal Backwater, you've got the Hooting Mantles, and the Disowned Ancestor, which are all good for your deck.
Yeah, I wanted the Backwater for the fixing, and I kind of thought there was a good chance another card like Mandrels would come around, or Scavenger, or anything like that.
Right.
Even the 3/5 Death Touch didn't happen. But.
Shambling Attendants, yeah. So here we see Water Whirl, Merek, Nightblade. That card's going to be okay for you. Let's keep going. Pick 7. You take a Disowned Ancestor, and then finally your last look at new cards. You can't take the Secret Plans. You only have a couple of morphs.
Yeah.
You get the Curved Bloodsucker. And let's take a look at your last set of packs. Oh, we did get a 9th pick here, and another morph in the Bondkin. Now let's take a look. This was obviously your best. I think was this your best pack in terms of building your deck?
I mean, I got a Pine Walker in pack 2, but then I got 1/3 here, and I got past Sagu Mauler. Wheeling these 2 morphs to fill out my curve that are, good morphs. Very strong. Yeah, it wasn't a perfect pack, but it's what I needed to have somewhat of a deck. Would have loved Debilitating Injuries or something.
You can watch the entire draft in the draft viewer as long as everyone sitting on either side of Eric. Eric, give the deck a grade really quickly.
I think for the table and the cards that I passed, the deck was excellent. Might be the best of the table. On average, like versus all the great decks in the world, it's probably like 7.5, 8.
Okay, all right.
deck.
Well, go out there. You got another round to play with the deck. For Eric Froehlich, this is Brian David Marshall from the Tournament Center.